What's up, guys? I wanted to tell you a story about myself, and I honestly don't think I've ever given the full details to this story, so I'm excited to share this with you guys today. But my fitness journey, my love and passion for bodybuilding, it really started in the 7th grade, and I have two people to really thank for this, and I owe it to two people, and that's my parents and my dad. My parents as a unit, my dad specifically for what he did, and then one of my best friends growing up who I'm still friends with to today. His name is Jim Haymore. But my dad, basically, he saw my interest for athletics, he saw my interest for bodybuilding, and he purchased a flex gym equipment or a flex home gym essentially for our basement. And that's where my training started. That's where my passion and love for training started. It started out with just me and my dad in my basement. I remember at that time we had a very select few pieces. We had a flex squat stand to basically unrack a barbell to do squat movements or overhead presses. We had a flat bench that converted. It was a flat bench with a thick pad. So it was obviously a bench for doing flat bench, incline bench, and then you put the pad on there, and then that's how it converted into doing leg extensions, leg curls. And then we had a really cool piece, which honestly I wish I still had today. It was a flex pull down / seated row, and in order to do the seated rows, you would do them on the floor. It had this really heavy steel apparatus that was on roller bars with a single spike up, so you basically would load the plates horizontally on that, and that's where I got my start. So, you know, my love for training started with essentially basic barbell, dumbbell movements. We had the dumbbells at the time that you would put plates on and then screw the end onto, and that's how I started my love for training. So that kind of evolved into me getting a friendship with Jim Haymore in 7th grade. Jim was I believe he's a year and a half older than me, and he was just extremely advanced. He was under the tutelage of his father at the time, who was training with the Titan method by Leo Costa. So Jim, and by the time that we had reached 8th grade, Jim looked more like a high school senior in terms of his bodybuilding development, the way that he looked, and he was fixated on doing this Titan method program, which for those of you guys that aren't familiar with the Titan method has now been taken, not taken, but kind of evolved into what Scott Stevenson's coaching is and what his teaching and training is as far as programming. So check that out if you have not, but that's how I trained. That's starting in 7th grade. I was never one that was like just kind of scrambling to finish it out and figure it out. I had my dad who had a bodybuilding background. I had my friend Jim who had an advanced bodybuilding background. And that's kind of where I got my tutelage and my upbringing in bodybuilding. So why am I telling you guys all this? You know, that's kind of what I'm getting at in this. Obviously, you guys can see I'm sitting in a very messy garage, and I wanted to document this from the start. This is going to be the start of something new for me, basically building it from the ground up. I'm going to be taking this garage over the next week. I have been organizing it. I have been getting rid of clutter, getting rid of garbage. Which as of right now, it doesn't look like that. But I've been taking this garage and having the thought process of really turning this garage into basically getting back to the basics of training that I loved, and taking training back into my own hands, because as of right now, most of us do not have the opportunity to train due to the restrictions that have been placed on us. And I've just realized for several reasons. One, training, an outlet of training, coaching, content that I'm required now. I have many of you guys supporting me, paying me on a monthly basis to deliver content. And as soon as this happened, I knew that I could still deliver coaching and knowledge content, but I lost the ability to deliver training content to you guys. So first and foremost, I wanted to be able to uphold my commitment to you guys within my business to provide for Camp Jansen. I wanted to give myself an outlet for myself to be able to continue to improve my physique. I wanted to challenge myself with minimal equipment to get back to basically the foundational roots of what I love. And I don't think I've lost myself in training by any means. You know, my belief system in training has always been around long-term goals, not short-term satisfaction. It's always been around hard work. It's always been about doing the movements that are demanding. But even within that, the longer I feel like I've been in a commercialized gym, you just get, your vision kind of gets swayed. You know, oh, this piece feels cool, this machine feels cool. Next thing you know, you're spending, 80%, 70% of your workout in a seated position where machines are stabilizing weight for yourself, and you realize how far you've strayed from basically the hard compound movements that built your physique at one time, and you know what drew you initially to bodybuilding, you know, you've lost that. So within all that, I'm excited for you guys to share with you guys that I'm going to be getting truly back to the basics, building myself from the ground up in a garage that doesn't look anything like a gym right now, but over the next week I'm going to be transforming it into a garage gym, which I'll be able to utilize for my own training, for content for you guys. And I want to take you guys, you know, I have so many ideas, so many things that I want to put into motion, but basically this is the start of a new series. This is the start of me training in my garage gym. The next video that I want to do for you guys is going over my equipment selection from a needs to a want standpoint, basically lining things out from, okay, I definitely need this, I need this, this is a need/want, this is a total want. How I went about acquiring my exercise, you know, decision-making process from equipment standpoint, where I'm getting the equipment from. For those of you guys that are in the US, you're searching on this website and that website, you can't find it. I'm gonna give you guys one of the best resources in the United States, I feel, to get equipment from. So I wanna give you guys as much valuable information, entertainment that I possibly can. That's gonna be the next video. I'm gonna basically detail me picking up the equipment, what that process looks like, give you guys some insight into what the inside of this facility looks like, where I'm gonna be getting the equipment, bringing the equipment back home, setting it up, and then from there, doing training, giving you guys true, valuable training programs from an essential equipment standpoint, from a reduced equipment standpoint. And you know, I honestly, I could talk about this for a long time because I'm really excited about it. You know, I've just realized over this past month of restriction just how much I need training and I want training a part of my daily life. I miss the, you know, basically the aggression part of training, that I can go in here and just, you know, just really release and be aggressive, because I'm not aggressive in other parts of my life. I'm not an aggressive person. You know, I'm not on the attack when it comes to people or how I treat people, but I've noticed in the past month that since the aggression in the gym has been missing, you know, like a part of me has been missing in that. And it's such a freeing environment to be able to come in here for an hour and a half a day, train as hard as I can, get that energy release, you know, and just really just continue to work on goals. I'm very passionate right now about two things. I'm passionate about listening and abiding by the government regulations, guidelines, standards that they're setting. And I'm also passionate, once we're accomplishing that, being true and sticking steadfast to our goals, you know. And so this garage facility is going to allow me to do that. Hopefully my content that I'm able to then give you guys is going to allow you guys to kind of spur on your own ideas, because to be honest with you guys, I don't know, none of us know when this situation is going to change. Does our future, does life as we once knew it, is that going to have a different look in general? Now that the COVID-19 virus has basically gone into our ecosystem, for lack of a better word, and it's going to be a part of our daily life moving forward. You know, are we going to be a culture? Are we going to be in a position where we need to be more socially distanced until they really figure this out? You know, what happens when this curve is over, but then November hits, cold season hits, flu season hits? Are we going to be right back in the same position? You know, so all of these things have been in my decision-making process, first and foremost from a business and providing from my family standpoint, providing the commitment that I've made to you guys. I need this facility. I need to do this for myself. So I'm excited about laying out this journey for you guys and all that's going to come from this. So here we are. You know, we're in a very messy garage right now. But I wanted to share to you guys my story about, you know, where I started, how my true love and passion for bodybuilding became what it is today. And I'm excited to get back to the roots of that, to be able to basically just be able to walk outside my house, go right into training, not have to waste any time with travel or, you know, this, that, or the other thing, and just be able to get after it in an environment that's truly centered around hard work, truly centered around basic compound movements, having a barbell in my hand as much as possible, getting as strong and dense as I can with that, and sharing that with you guys. So I'm excited about this journey. This is going to be episode 1. And I'll be back more, like I said, in the next episode. I'm going to be talking about where I'm acquiring this equipment from, the decision-making process, into the specific pieces that I selected, why I selected those pieces, how you guys can go about acquiring equipment if that's something that you're interested in doing, and I'll give you the contact for that, and we'll go from there. So again, I'm thankful for you guys. I'm thankful for this series. I'm thankful for the ability to have a place to train, because one thing that I don't want to get lost in this as well is, you guys that might be saying, oh, well, this is all well and great for you, Matt, but I don't have a house that I can bring equipment into, or I'm in I know that overseas the situation is much worse than it is here in the United States, even though we are under restriction. Please, guys, please don't take this as me not feeling for you, understanding for you. But I do have a commitment, through Camp Jansen, through the app, I have a commitment to you guys it's a content-based business model. Without content, I am not providing you guys with the promise that I would as a business. So it's important to me that I do this, and again, I appreciate you guys. I don't want to think that in any way, shape, or form I'm neglecting people, or I'm not conscious with your emotions right now, because I am. I take this whole situation very seriously, and a part of that for me is doing what's right, doing what I feel is right. I'm continuing to social distance myself as best as I can. My wife hasn't left the house in a month, so we are taking this situation very serious, but within that, I'm going to make sure that I do what's best for my family structure, my business structure, and just me mentally. So that's where we're at. I'll be back with episode 2 here shortly. Thank you, guys.